Cowboys signing incoming? A new target has been revealed for the Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to break it down on this episode of Cowboys Digest and just dissect on whether or not it makes sense for the current state of the team. So we'll have that and much more coming up next. Welcome in, everybody, to Cowboys Digest. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and today we're going to be breaking down an interesting possibility for the Dallas Cowboys to go out there and sign a former first-round pick, a guy who hasn't really panned out quite yet at the National Football League level, but he is interesting. He is only 23 years old, so this is potentially a reclamation project that may make sense for Dallas. But before we get into the video, I want to let you know that a large percentage of you watching these are not subscribed to the channel, so go ahead and hit that sub button because you won't want to miss the daily Dallas Cowboys content. But let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into the topic at hand, and of course, I'm talking about Emmanuel Forbes, the cornerback from the Washington Commanders, formerly of the Washington Commanders, has been released. He was their first-round pick in 2023, and I saw this stat. Now, Ron Rivera was the GM of that team, and he was in charge of the Commanders for about a 5-year stretch there. And all of his first-round picks from, I believe, 2018 to 2023 have either been traded or released by the organization. Now, I don't know if there's anything underlying here with Emmanuel Forbes. Maybe Dan Quinn just didn't see him as a fit in his defensive system, and that's entirely possible. But he does have some upside. There's no doubt about that. He's very fast, which we'll get into in a little bit. He's got great ball skills, and the Cowboys, it seems like an ideal landing spot here. So this is someone who Law Nation Sports said drafting Emmanuel Forbes would be nice. This was before the draft actually happened. Forbes possesses an unlearnable mix of ball skills and returnability. He has the most pick sixes in FBS and SEC history. Top reasons to buy in: elite ball production, coverage versatility, and football instincts. Now, as I mentioned in the intro, it hasn't really worked out for Forbes quite yet at the National Football League level, but this is what the Dallas Cowboys comparison comes into here. So, first-round pick Emmanuel Forbes has immediately turned heads at practice. One coach compared a play he made to the ball to Cowboys cornerback Trevon Diggs. We're very familiar with that. So, the bottom line here, Forbes is really effing good. So I think the metrics are there. I think it makes sense. He's going to be considered as a reclamation project here. I'm going to be honest, I haven't broken his game down. I haven't studied him as a prospect, but the Cowboys liked him in the pre-draft process, similar to what went down with Jonathan Mingo. They gave up a 4th-round pick for Mingo, who was selected in the 2nd round by the Panthers, and didn't really work out in that organization. We've seen some okay things out of Mingo in his short tenure so far with the Dallas Cowboys. We've seen him block really well. We've seen him get open a few times downfield. The throws maybe just haven't been online from Cooper Rush, but Mingo, I think, has been okay so far for the Dallas Cowboys, and they're looking at that going forward and saying that he can be a wide receiver 3. Now, Al Harris is one of the best defensive back coaches in the National Football League, and if we take a look at the prospect grade here, he's in the 86th percentile according to Next Gen NFL Stats, and that grades out as will eventually be a plus starter. So to me, very interesting. The standout from Mississippi State, again, hasn't translated to the NFL level. He's small. I think that is what has really been his downfall so far in the National Football League. It's the fact that he is a really small guy, 6'1", 160, 166 may be generous, and he struggles to tackle in the open field. He's got great ball skills, obviously, but I think the physicality is just too much to handle for him at this current moment in time. But with a team that has Deron Bland, Jordan Lewis, Trevon Diggs, he can learn from some of those guys, and you're basically going to be taking a flyer out on him for virtually nothing. Now, I don't know what the salary ramifications are going to be. I don't know how much it's going to cost the Cowboys, but they should at least put a claim on him. First-round picks don't really become available, and maybe he shouldn't have been a first-round pick. But the pre-draft process, everything that we were hearing going up to the 2023 draft was that this guy was a surefire ball hawk. And he may still be that. He's only 23 years old. He just needs an opportunity, and he just needs to put on some weight. It's easier said than done, but he's really frail right now. Skinny, 166, which again still might be a little bit generous, but I spoke about the speed. He ran a 4.35 at the combine. So take that with a grain of salt, but you could tell that the intangibles are there. The football IQ, which I was referring to here, football intelligence, football instincts, the coverage versatility. It's really the tackling that is an issue for him, but pretty much everyone besides for Micah Parsons and DeMarvion Overshown struggled to tackle on the Dallas Cowboys, and Eric Kendricks as well, who's been a pretty nice player for them this season. But yeah, there are options here for the Cowboys, and I don't think they need a defensive back, but it doesn't hurt to have the depth. We've seen how many injuries they've dealt with, and you had Josh Butler starting, you had Amani Oruwariye starting as well, Andrew Booth, who was selected in the second round and ended up getting benched. Like, the Cowboys have tried to find the answer alongside Trevon Diggs and alongside Deron Bland, because we haven't seen those two guys be healthy at the same time, at least not for an extended period of time. So it'd be nice to have a full complement of pieces available to you if you're Mike Zimmer and the rest of that defense, but you haven't, which is why you need to bring in as much depth as humanly possible. And Emmanuel Forbes, former first-round pick, hasn't panned out, playing for one-year rivals. I say you stick it to them. I say you stick it to them and you get this deal done, and maybe you unlock him. Maybe Al Harris really finds something in this guy, and he's going to be able to turn into the player that a lot of scouts thought that he could become. There's still an opportunity there, I think. I believe in this player. Again, I'll have to break him down a little bit more, and I'll have to take a more advanced look into what he actually brings to the table. But everything that I'm hearing, advanced ball skills, ball hawk, the guy has elite coverage. It's just the size. It's the physicality that has been a little bit too much to handle for him in the National Football League. And I think with a little bit of coaching, with a little bit of an off-season regimen here, and some time with the Dallas Cowboys, they can truly unlock his potential. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? I know this isn't a pressing need for the Cowboys, especially considering how some other areas of the team have looked this year, but let me know in the comments down below. Would you take a flyer on Emmanuel Forbes, the recently released former first-round pick of the Washington Commanders? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Go Cowboys.